Hey Rick, just wanted to go over a couple things with you. So I want to talk a little bit about the loss of distance as well, but I need you to understand why. So ultimately, center contact is super important. Where we hit the ground, the low point of the club is super important. So we want to be hitting the ball first, ground afterwards. So the easiest way to do that is to make sure that this club is moving downwards as we're striking the ball, and there's a little bit of shaft lean, so obviously not this much, you'd have a little bit, but that's when we're going to hit some pure shots. We're going to hit the middle of the club face, we're going to get them a little bit farther. Now, for you, you do a lot of really good work with your arms and wrists to get the club in some really nice spots. But as you start to swing down, you're going to see that you're going to lose posture. So what I mean by that is we start with a natural inclination to the ground, right? So we're not just swinging like this, we're not set up like that, we're bent over. So we have some inclination to the ground. Now, you do a really nice backswing, get the club in an advantageous position, but what you're going to see as you start to swing down is your upper body is going to start moving away from the ball. So now you're compromising that inclination to the ground, you're compromising the length of the club. What you have to do is you have to start letting go of these angles because you're trying to control to your best ability where you're hitting the ground. So as you lose that posture, you're going to start making these compensations where the club shaft raises, so the handle raises. You're letting go of this angle, right? So you're doing this, referred to as a cast. I'm not going to sit here and say that you cast, but it would be more typical of somebody who is letting out this angle too early, which you tend to do. So you'll let that out, the handle raises, and you'll see that basically just after impact, your wrist is super ulnar deviated, the shaft is super high still, and the exit is going to be kind of through your neck. So when you lose that inclination to the ground, you're forced to release this club in a very disadvantageous way for speed. So ultimately what we would like to see when you're swinging down is you're keeping that posture, that inclination to the ground, and that's going to allow you to have some room to keep the force on the club to move down and keep the club shaft leaning forward. So what we need to see for you when you're swinging down is your chest needs to feel like it's moving more toward the ground as your pelvis moves back. Right now you don't really move the pelvis forward too much, but you do start to move your chest away from the ground. So super easy drill for that. You can get a chair. Basically when you swing down, your left butt is going to be hitting this chair as your chest is moving forward, and that forward bend is going to be replaced by rotation and extension with your right shoulder down. So you're going to start swinging down, my left butt cheek is pressing on the chair, I'm still inclined toward the ground, I'm going to turn with my shoulder down and then extend everything. So this is going to be a good drill for you. Left butt touches the chair as your right shoulder and your chest are maintaining that inclination to the ground. The more we do this, the more we're going to be able to keep the proper forces of the club in our downswing to allow you to hit the ground or ball first, ground afterwards, take a nice divot, nice pure strike, center of the club face.